Hi everyone, I'm Gina from Gina K Designs and your host of Stamp TV, and I'd like to welcome you to our release party presentation. Tonight you'll get to see 4 new clear stamp sets and a brand new incentive set. At any time, feel free to click on the links below this screen to play along with our contest questions, our challenge, and to see all of the stamp sets in full along with the beautiful samples created by our design team, especially for you. And if you're the partying type, we have a party chat thread going strong where you can hang out with the design team from now until 8 o'clock Central Time. And the best news is, all of the stamp sets are already available in our store at ginakdesigns.com, so you don't have to wait to place your order. So sit back, relax, and enjoy tonight's release party presentation. I'm so excited to show you the new stamp sets that we've released tonight. We have 4 brand new clear stamp sets and a brand new incentive set. Let's start off with the newest set by Melanie Menchinger called Fabulous Flowers. Fabulous Flowers is filled with beautiful little flowers, both bold and sketchy, so you can create all kinds of floral looks. You can mix them together for a watercolor 2-step look, or use them alone for coloring, the black magic technique, embossing, and so much more. With the bold and sketchy vases and handwritten greetings, you can create bouquets for all occasions. And don't forget to check out Melanie's YouTube channel for tons of upcoming videos featuring the new Fabulous Flowers stamp set. Teresa Momber has a fabulous new set this month as well. With the huge success of her first Framescape set, we are even more excited to bring the second set in this series, Framescape Simply Spring. Everyone loves the way Teresa creates beautiful scenes on her cards, and with the new Framescape Simply Spring set, you have everything you need to start your own springtime scenes. Add in the elements to make it your own. Mix and match this one with her Framescape winter trees, and you can create beautiful spring forests and mountain looks in the blink of an eye. And make sure you tune in to Teresa's YouTube channel as she takes you through many different scenes that you can easily recreate with this amazing stamp set. Claire Brennan has a beautiful set this month called Springtime Baskets. These delicate baskets can be used separately or joined together to make a tall basket ready to fill with a wide array of springtime basket fillers. Add eggs for Easter and flowers for Mother's Day. This set will have you creating beautiful baskets of cards for everyone on your list. Claire is thinking about doing some videos, so if you see her out there on social media, let her know you'd love to see more. Beth Saleka wins the Cute Award this month with her new Spring Fling stamp set. A chick, a duck, a sheep, even a frog are part of this cute springtime zoo. Make cute cards for Easter or adorable birthday cards for kids. With a wide variety of eggs and a solid stamp that will fill the eggs and the little bodies of the animals, you can create a whole bunch of 2-step stamping fun. And if you love to color, these little critters are perfect for Copics, watercolor, and colored pencils. The last stamp set I want to show you is our newest incentive set. This set is called Vintage Rose. This month, when you spend $75 in a single order, you'll receive the Vintage Rose stamp set. This beautiful set will help you create lovely cards for spring, friendship, sympathy, and beyond. And no need to put it in your cart. It will automatically ship with your qualifying order. Now that you've seen all of the new sets, I want to show you a project featuring the new Vintage Rose incentive stamp set along with a fun background technique. Let me show you the tools and products you're going to need to make this card. First, you're going to need the Vintage Rose stamp set. And you can see mine is well loved. The stamps aren't even in there. The stamps I'm using are the tall vase filled with roses. Sometimes I say vase, sometimes I say vase. I don't know which is correct, but that's what I'm going to use. I'm also going to use the single rose, and the greeting I'm going to use is the one that says, "You are my best friend." I'm also going to need some dies, and I have grabbed the Cottage Cutz double stitched ovals dies. Then for ink, I'm going to use some of the Gina K Designs Kraft ink, some of the dark chocolate. I'm also going to use some charcoal brown and some ocean mist. I also have a little bit of white sheer ribbon that I found in my stash. You can use any ribbon you want for this card. Some scissors, some adhesive. I have some of my favorite glue dots. These are the Zots singles, and I'm using the petite ones for this. And then I have a few foam squares. I just happened to grab these. I've been using the white ones by Thermoweb lately. These are the ones by Scrapbook Adhesives, and these are the black ones. I just grabbed these. Any foam squares will work for this card. And then for cardstock, I have some of the Ocean Mist for my card base. I have some dark chocolate, and I have some layering white. The other tool that I have is my Scor-Buddy. And I'm going to make a background for my card that's going to look a lot like a Victorian ceramic tile. So, let me show you how to make this card. To begin, I'm going to grab this piece of cardstock, and I feel like there might be I'm missing a foot there, so I'm a little wobbly. So I'm going to put one corner at 3 inches, and then I'm going to put the other corner at 3 inches down at the bottom. Now, one of my Scor-Buddies that I use in our classroom at work, I put a little black dot down here just so it's easy to find. And you can do that too. Just use a Sharpie or use any kind of little pen to make a mark. You can always erase it with a little bit of alcohol. So I'm going to score this at every ½ inch mark. So I'm going to start at 3, and then I'm going to go to 3.5, 4, 4.5, 5, 5.5, and then, let's see, does that take a little bit? No, maybe just a tiny little bit there. All right, so now I'm going to flip it around, and I'm going to do the other side. So I already have my 3-inch one done. Now I'm going to go to 3.5, 4, 4.5, 5, 5.5, and since I did it with the other one, just in case. Now I'm going to flip it so that I can make lines going in the opposite direction. So again, starting at 3 inches, again at every ½ inch. And these are going to be, this is going to look like a beautiful diamond tile. I don't think there's anything there. All right, and flip it around again. And then, let's see here. Here's the angle. It's hard to see in my lighting here where I'm at. There we go. Okay, and I'll finish this off doing every ½ inch here. Okay, so now I have all of those diamonds in there, and you can probably really see it on the back. Now that's a nice background just as it is. It's kind of like an embossing folder look, but I'm going to use the other side where it's pressed in. And I'm going to just grab a little sheet of scratch paper here. Okay, so now my next step is going to be to stamp some roses onto this. So I'm going to start with the dark chocolate, and I'm going to use the large rose stamp. I'm going to ink that up, and I'm going to start right in the middle. And this is going to give me the best balance just by starting right in the middle here. So the first rose is going to go in the middle. Now you'll notice that it doesn't stamp in any of the cracks, and that's what you want. You don't want it to stamp in the cracks. And then I'm going to keep turning this as I go so that it's not too much of the same type of pattern that the roses are going in different directions. Do this one up here. Have this one facing down. And we'll get this one facing down the other way. And now I want to fill in these areas just by using a little bit of the stamp. So I can work that piece in there. And this will go in here. And that looks pretty good. But you can always fill in these little areas, like if this little end bothers you, you can always add a little bit there. If you want to add something in here, you can certainly do that. But for the most part, that looks really good, and lots of placement of those roses. Okay, so now I'm going to add some of this Kraft ink. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just rub this ink pad, and this is very easy to do. If you have a rectangle ink pad, it seems to be a little bit easier because you're going to get a more even streaking when you go down. I'm going to just run this down like that, and you see how all the white lines show up now? And that's like your grout lines in your tile. A little bit more there. A little bit more in here. And don't worry about like the little bit of streakiness in there, because this is supposed to be a very old-fashioned, kind of aged, weathered look. And when I show you my finished card, you won't believe the beautiful colors that this all fades up to. Now I'm going to add some of the ocean mist. So this color is going to go on top. And that's going to really change the look of it. Really getting a lot of ink on there. But you can see it's not really getting into the grout lines too much, just a little bit of seepage in, which actually is kind of what makes it look more like ceramic tile, is that it's kind of a little bit rough along the edges. So there is that background. Now I'm going to let that dry for a little bit, and then I'm going to stamp my next images. So let me grab a plain piece of white cardstock, and for this one I'm going to stamp the tall roses in the vase or vase, and I'm going to do that with charcoal brown. Charcoal brown is a very black brown, and I really like that. It's a nice, nice look for focal images and greetings. Okay, so we'll stamp that there, like that. And then I'm going to grab the die that I want to use and make sure that I have room. So this is the die that I'm going to use. And the other die that I'm going to use is this tiny one. So there's plenty of room down there. I'm going to grab the greeting, "You're my best friend," and stamp this down here, like that. All right, so I have my Big Shot here. I'm really enjoying the Big Shot. I'm new to it. I've always used a Cuttlebug or one of the Cheery Lynn Designs machines, and they're great too, but I really like this machine. Okay, so now I'm going to cut both of these out at one time. So I'll put that die there, and then the little die is going to go right there. Make sure that that's straight. And then I'm going to put my other clear plate on top. Just put a little pressure on that as it's going through. Ooh, this one underneath is not straight, so there we go. And then send it through the machine. Okay, so now I have that nice image with the double-stitched edge, and I have this cute little greeting with the double-stitched edge. So let me get this machine out of the way, and we're going to assemble this card. Alright, so we have this background here, and this background is going to go on top of this piece of dark chocolate cardstock. Let me zoom out just a little bit so I have a little room to work. Pulled some of that off because the cardstock's a little wet because of all that ink I put on there. So when you do this, you might want to let it dry just a little bit more than I'm letting mine dry here, just so that the cardstock's not wet. Okay. There we go. Can you see how those roses have lightened up so much? And that nice ocean mist on top is almost opaque over it. Even though it's a translucent dye ink, it just softens everything up so much. Okay, and then I have a little piece of white ribbon, and I'm going to make a belly band out of this. And I'm going to have that up a little bit higher on this card, right about there. Straighten that out a bit. And then this whole panel is going to go on top of my Ocean Mist card base, like that. All right. And now I'm going to add my images by using some of the foam squares. And before you apply these pieces, you do want to make sure that your background paper is completely dry. Mine is pretty dry now. So I'll add this right about there. And then I'm going to add my greeting piece with just 2 squares down at the bottom, right here. And now you know that I can't pass up an opportunity. Let's move that up just a little bit. You know I can't pass up an opportunity to do a double looped bow here because it's such an elegant card. So I'm going to grab some ribbon here, and I'm going to hold the ribbon between my thumb and my pinky, and I'm going to wrap this around 2 times. And then this tail is going to go straight through my fingers. I am going to do a separate bow video with a couple different ways to do this for you guys coming up soon. So now I have this loop, and this tail is going to go over the loop and back under. So over and back through, over and back through. And then I'm going to pull it tight toward my elbow. And there's my cute little double loopy bow. This card just calls for it. Just have to have it. And I'm going to use one of these fantastic Zots. This will hold that ribbon on forever. So here's one of the singles. These are already cut apart and ready to go, and I'm going to pop that onto the back of that bow and then press it down nice and tight, and then you can play with the loops a little bit and get everything straightened out the way you want. So there's my finished card project. And let me show you after that completely dries. You see how it lightened up a little bit more on my original card that I made here? So you can see, and I may have added a few more layers of the ocean mist on this as well. So just by playing with the different amounts of ink that you put on, you can definitely get some interesting looks. But it sure looks like an elegant Victorian tile to me. So there is my finished card. I hope you've enjoyed tonight's release party presentation. All of the new stamp sets are now available in our online store at ginakdesigns.com. Thanks so much for watching, and see you back here soon on Stamp TV.